Hello and welcome to Flash News with Bobby Fazio. Today is Friday, December 17th, 2021. I feel like it's been a little while since I've done a Flash News. Heading out to PRI. This is my first one, first Flash News since I've been back. So I know it's Friday, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon on the East Coast here. Some of you are driving home from work, some of you may be on a lunch break, or some of you may just be pretending to work. So hopefully you're joining in, and I'm looking forward to spending the next, 10 or 15 minutes with you because I feel like I have a lot of things to cover. So, first things first, let's get to who brings you Flash News. Now, it's powered by ClassRacingToday.com and the Class Racing Today podcast. But today's episode of Flash News is brought to you by Kenwood Welding and Metallizing. That is Tom Baker. Tom Baker, you can hit him up right there. You got his email address. He has some pretty sick super stock Barracudas or Dusters, I believe. He's a Mopar guy and a great supporter of our podcast and Flash News, and we really appreciate him. So Kenwood Welding and Metallizing out of Baltimore, Maryland. Also brought to you by... Hold on, I'm getting there. I'm still slow. It's been a little while. Drag Insights. Go to app.draginsights.com. Okay, so everybody that knows has been watching this podcast and Flash News knows I'm a big proponent of Drag Insights. You can go in there and search out so many different things. Yesterday we put up some just some fun facts about how many super comp cars have raced since 2015, how many super gas cars, and that the most crowded class and stock eliminator since 2015 was G stock automatic. I would have lost that bet because I just for some reason thought it would have been B or C stock automatic. But it's G stock automatic. B and H are actually tied for second. And then after that, I don't remember who it was, maybe like F or something. A and double A were not the top. But anyways, Drag Insights. Go to app.draginsights.com. Sign up for free. Maybe I'll do like a nice little tutorial and show you really how to get in that app and use it. Lastly, if you want to sponsor the show, Flash News, the podcast, or driver interviews, hit us up, classracingtoday@gmail.com, or go to our website, classracingtoday.com. We are on all the social medias, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Class Racing Today is our username. And what else? Oh, Apple Podcasts, if you want to listen to us on there. Class Racing Today. I was at PRI. I handed out a ton of sponsorship proposals, and looking forward to getting a few phone calls so I can put your logo right here next to my beautiful face and get your name out there, and you would be supporting the Class Racing Today podcast. We are reaching over 100,000 people a month on Facebook. I pulled the data. It said 109,000 organic followers or organic reach for the last 30 days. So, hey, I can't believe we're reaching that many people. I can't believe that many people are tuning in, but we've been doing it for a year now, and it seems to be, I guess we're getting a little bit better at it, and we're trying to do as much as we can to promote the growth of stock and super stock drag racing and potentially get us a little bit more coverage, TV time, and therefore more sponsors, and it helps all of us. All right, so that's the whole point of this podcast, as you already know. All right, enough of that. Let's get into what we need to talk about. The topics today. First off, the Class Racers Revival is coming back April 28th to May 2nd, 2022. It will be at the same track that it was at last year, which was we call it St. Louis, but it's Madison, Illinois, technically, Worldwide Technology Raceway Park. So hope to see everybody there. That's put on by Race Derby City. That's Tyler Bohannon, who just won $1 million drag race. So way to go, Tyler. And Brian Whitworth, I believe. Tyler Bohannon, Brian Whitworth put on this event, and it was a great event last year. It's also where we kind of invented the driver interviews segment, which has been super successful over the last year. So check that out, April 28th to May 2nd, 2022. big money. I think it was like 25,000 to win last year, and there's consolation races. There's all kinds of stuff going on. All right, so put that on the schedule. Also, one of the main reasons why I called this little meeting is because I saw this rule change on ClassRacer.com. Somebody posted it. It looks like crank triggers are now going to be allowed. All right, the way I read this rule here, okay, so you can see the wording. They removed distributorless ignition. So before, if in stock eliminator, in super stock, you can run a crank trigger on anything. In stock eliminator, though, you are not allowed to run a crank trigger unless your combo came with one from the factory. Okay? They were prohibited unless came from the factory or originally equipped with a distributorless ignition. They removed the words distributorless ignition, and now it looks like you can run a crank trigger on anything that came with a crank and cam sensor. So, the way I read this rule, I have a Mustang 5.0 that had a TFI module, and in that distributor is a crank sensor and a cam sensor. So this tells me that I'm allowed to run the crank trigger. So I guess, we just had a nice episode with Lonnie Grimm. Maybe I should hit him up and have him clarify that for me. But that is something. I think any EFI, if you're running an aftermarket EFI computer, I run the Fast XFI. Many people run the Holly. There's the big stuff. There's Excel. There's other ones that I can't think of. Haltech. I think you should be allowed to run a crank trigger. Now, hear me out, because I'm not big on let's keep changing the rules in stock and making it harder and harder and more expensive. The reason for that is actually to promote a good crank signal, a safe crank signal. In my car alone, on my data logger, I've been using the distributor to get the crank signal. I've been using a dual sync distributor, so it's got the crank and cam sensor built in, Hall effect sensors, and the signal for the crank is so messy that it's jumping my computer from box to box, cell to cell, to deliver fuel, where the RPM is jumping all over the place. It's changing fuel and timing everywhere, and it can't be good for the motor, and it's confusing to the computer. And yeah, it's probably not that good for performance. I don't know if it'll help or not, but I would just rather a crank trigger is a very nice seamless graph, and it's as accurate as you can get. So if you're running aftermarket EFI, if that's allowed, then the crank trigger should be allowed to go with it, so that the aftermarket computer can do its thing. Okay, that's my spiel on that. You can comment and let me know if you agree, disagree, and let's have a chat about it. And if anybody actually did clarify that with the tech department, I would like to know also. All right, there's actually people watching. Paul Gunther, yo, Bobby. How you doing, Paul? Paul actually lives about 5 minutes down the road, and he's got a sick, beautiful Mustang in super stock. It's like a 2002 Mustang, I think. He runs a factory GT motor in it, and it's pretty cool. Steve Lochner, how you doing, buddy? Steve Lochner was in my wedding. He doesn't race, but he likes to come to the races. Robbie Butler, hello. Tom Gent, how you doing? He says, that's great. I don't know what part of it's great. Maybe he's just talking about me. And I'm just going to go with that. But nice to see you all out there. Okay, what's next on the list? Anybody interested in a Cobra Jet? Here's a 2012 Super Cobra Jet. Number 4 out of the batch of 50. It's got the 4.0 Whipple supercharger. It was the upgrade. And it's got the 5.4 4-valve motor in it. $94,500. The asking price right now, or best offer. Never been raced. It still even has the wrapping on the roll cage inside. So this thing's been stored in the garage ever since it was purchased new. If you are interested, hit me up, classracingtoday@gmail.com, and I will put you through to the owner if you are interested in that. Okay, also I want to go over the contingency. I want to keep you guys updated as to what's going on. So I've been paid, so I won September 12th, 2021, the Mopar Express Nationals at Maple Grove. I've been paid by Summit, VP, Jegs, Ford, Jessel, Simpson seatbelts, Edelbrock intake manifold, Comp cams, camshaft, Moser axles, Denso spark plugs. I've gotten email correspondence from K&N and from QA1. I have heard nothing from ARP, Nikki Thompson, or Manley Valves. Now, I did talk to Manley at PRI. I talked to QA1 at PRI. That's how I resolved the issue. I talked to Manley at PRI, and they said to talk to them, or gave me a business card and said hit them up, and they'll take care of it. Mickey Thompson wasn't at PRI because they've been bought out by Goodyear. And ARP, I tried to talk to them a couple times at PRI, but the gentleman I was supposed to see was just not around when I was trying to find him, so I can email them. But I just want to keep you guys updated. I'm only waiting for a couple more, so about 4 more I'm waiting for. So I did very well. Hearing a lot of horror stories about contingency, I didn't have much problems here. And the few that I may be having, I think, are going to be resolved pretty easily. I didn't have that many claims, though. I maybe should have had a couple more stickers on the car, and I lost out on some money. But that's the way that goes. Anyways, next time, next time I win, I'll try to have more stickers on the car. Okay, let's see. Let me check my list here, because I wanted to get through all the fun stuff before I got to the sad issue here. We lost a great racer and just a funny guy, Tim Warner. Now you all know Byron and Brian Warner, the twins who race Superstock in Division 1. I know them very well. I've only raced them a handful of times. I'd never raced Tim. This is their father, Tim Warner. He was a big time racer, and I think he was just finishing out as I was starting. Former U.S. Marine, funny guy, had the funniest jokes. I've been out to dinner with him, and I just laughed my ass off the whole time because he had some good material. And here he is. This is how I kind of always saw him at the track, riding around in the golf cart. And here's his granddaughter. The two twins have a sister, and I believe this is her daughter. And Mr. Tim Warner really loved hanging with his granddaughter. And I honestly, the last time, so like I said, I always saw Tim riding around in this golf cart. He rode up to my pit after I won the Nationals and offered me, congratulations. And even though I had to go head-to-head with his son in the semifinal, he seemed like he was happy for me that I got the win, and I really appreciated that, and I'm really going to miss him. He was a funny guy, and it was always nice to see him at the track. And he always had a big dog with him, too. I hope the dog is still around, but it was always him on that golf cart with that dog, and maybe a Vegas Fuel or something that he used to sneak me. But I'm going to miss him, and rest in peace, Tim Warner. I do believe there is an obituary on Facebook right now, and there are services for him tomorrow, December 18th, and they're in Harrisburg. Be sure to go to the Warner and Sons Facebook page for more details on that. All right, so that has been your Flash News. Today is Friday, December 17th, 2021. My name is Bobby Fazio, and thank you for joining me. I will do more Flash News next week. I'll probably try to get one. We will get an episode in on Wednesday of the podcast before Christmas. And I do want to show you guys how Drag Insights works. I want to make sure that you all know what it's useful for. So I'll probably make a little tutorial video, or maybe I'll do a Flash News where we all use it together. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks for joining me, and take care. Have a nice weekend, and have a nice Christmas if you don't tune in next week and I don't see you. All right? Take care.